from being a very verbal culture, strong families for a very long time, right? Passing down story, it was storytelling. And some of that, yeah, you could say, hey, maybe it was literacy back in the day where a lot of them couldn't write. So they really had to develop a verbal acuity. And look, comedy is a perfect example. If you look at stand-up comedy, you look at the top 5, you're going to have at least close to half of them, or top 10 are going to be black.
That's
Richard Pryor, number 1 on almost every single list. And in that list, you are definitely going to have Dave Chappelle, you're going to have Chris Rock, you're going to have Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, I'm trying to...
Don't forget the Hodge twins.
The Hodge twins. Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have this everywhere because it's a meritocracy, and black people are funny. Is that racist? Not all black people. I have a black guy who lives next to me. He's not funny at all. He goes golfing and his wife is into ceramics. She has a kiln. Actually, he's pretty funny. One time he said, I walked in and I said, hey, what is it? He loves Joe Lewis. He's like, man, that's a good dog. He's just a big monster. And then
He talks like that too.
He does. But then he's in a golf shirt. And then he goes, I go, what's that there? And it's like this. He goes, that's a kiln. He goes, yeah, my wife's into ceramics, and he goes, that thing gets up to, I don't know what it is, someone can fact check me here, I think it gets up to over 1,000 degrees. He said, I don't want to give her no ideas, but I tell her, if she ever want to make me disappear, toss my body in. I said, but then she started looking at me, I don't come home, I don't take out the trash, start looking at me, I'm like, hey. I've never once had an interaction with a white stranger that was that entertaining.
This is a compliment. You are funny, or you're more.
He's my favorite neighbor.
So that's perfect.
He always says hi. Sometimes, and if he's having a bad day, he still takes the time. Like if it's a white woman having a bad day, you say hi. She's like, "Well, you want to rape me now?" You're like, "Oh my god." It's a black person. I say like, "Hey man, how you?" He goes, it is how it is. I don't, but hopefully I don't see your foot just in a kiln. So Teen Vogue writer Lauren Michelle said, the weight of reaction gifting period rests on our shoulders. Intertwine this proliferation of our images with the other ones we're as likely to see. Death looped over and over, and the internet becomes an exhausting experience. So we've equated the gift of a funny black lady or that funny kid from Alpha vehicle. We've equated that with Black Death, looped over and over.
I don't know how I'm getting both the scanner and Crowder both work through Android Auto, but it's pretty cool.
Here's the thing, I guess whites could agree to not use digital blackface. If, by the way, this goes both ways, black Americans agree to stop making digital whiteface posts. So, no. Well, maybe, but no. You guys can comment, and if you're listening on audio, that makes no sense at all, and I don't know if we need to hit the Rumble dump button, but I do not care. Head on over to Rumble. YouTube's not fun anymore. We may even just stop streaming to YouTube altogether eventually.
I think at some point we're going to have to.
Eventually, we probably will.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the digital blackface thing? And I'm asking you because you're black.
It's just, I've never been offended by anything like that. Black people, I see funny white reactions, I see funny black, I see funny Chinese reactions. It's just a fake outrage. Yeah. Real digital blackface would be taking those old minstrel shows and putting up like that. Right. Yes. That would be digital blackface.
Remember when we got in trouble for, which one of you dressed up like Michael Clark Duncan in Green Mile?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I still get emails.
Could someone find that clip or an image? So we did a parody of the Green Mile.
You want to show it again?
Here's the thing.
You asshole, I was doing that. He was trying to put lipstick on me. I was like, wait a minute, my lips are pink enough.
No, not for Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah. So we had you dress up as Michael Clark Duncan doing a Green Mile parody. And we had talking him up. I can't believe that you would do blackface. Like, he's black. He's black.
It's black Earthface.
It's black Earthface.
I forget the asshole y'all having a plan of.
One female.
He said, I feel a I said, you asshole, nobody can see your face.
Like Brendan.
I know if I a Klan outfit around black, we're like, this is what, think about this for a second. The left decides to be outraged. 4 blacks when a black man plays Michael Clark Duncan. It is the exact equivalent to one of us getting a fake tan to play Donald Trump. Black people come in different shades. So now if we're at the level where black people cannot play other black people if they are darker, you are now saying there is a hierarchy among blacks depending on level of melanin, and that is racist. Do we have the image? Go ahead, Joe.
While they're doing that, so I asked them. So you said it a minute ago, like when we were growing up.
They're stupid shit.
Worse than
you
we
gonna
were growing
stop?
up. Like 3 black best friends over the course of my life, and as a kid,
We
did not
get it,
think.
Gerald.
No, that's not like street cred. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't abnormal at all, 100%.
What are you at now? The prison?
Yeah, they were there
Oh, my
January
black friends
6th.
in prison.
One of them went
Black
for a pack of
friends,
cigarettes,
too.
never came home.
That was
No.
messed up. I'm sorry.
And so this wasn't like ignorance. I didn't grow up in a white gated community that led to this question. I actually had to ask the Hodge twins back when we were doing the show from your house. I was like, hey, what's the deal with blackface? Like, I don't even understand what's going on. Like, this was never a thing. Like, we never even thought about this stuff. Obviously, they told me about the minstrel shows. That was
Well, yeah, you know
that
about
was
that.
bad.
You meant like people
I
dressing.
didn't. Well, yeah, I didn't know what was going on and why they were referencing. I'm like, those are 2 very different things, right? This isn't like Breakfast at Tiffany's where the Chinese guy is absolutely a caricature. We're talking about somebody doing like Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, where could
right?
you have possibly gotten that? I just watched Big Trouble in Little China this
Usual
weekend.
about it.
And I'm sitting there going, I wonder where they got the negative Chinese stereotype. And they're like, I need to find a woman with emerald eyes.
Or the guy that blew up.
It's the Chinese actor. And you know what? Not a single Chinese man was offended watching it. He didn't start a march. Oh, dark magic from ancient China. I have a strong eye.
We got the Green Mile.
Is it the clip or the...
Well, I got the whole open, but I could pause it on a free
All
frame.
right, let's just pause on a free frame. This is one of the... Yeah.
Holy you sorry bastard.
But how often are we
I don't
going to
even
get a
know
black
about that
man who is
black.
buff enough to play Michael Clark Duncan? Think of it.
But you're black.
Yes. And that was racist. You can beat his ass after the show. You know what? You had a lot of black friends. You didn't get enough black beatings. That's your problem.
It's the Mel Gibson Easter egg there.
Yes, it is.
Crazy.
No, but the thing is, we were sitting there like, this is hilarious. We were doing a parody of Michael Clark Duncan, and you know what? That was us of the Green Mile, and that was us trying to be, trying to. You have a sitting Prime Minister of Canada. He has done blackface like 19 times, and Megyn Kelly gets fired from NBC because she said, well, this was her great sin. Megyn Kelly, right? She said, I don't think it's the same thing as blackface. When we were little girls, we wanted to dress up like Diana Ross because that was, we were fans of them. It wasn't to mock her, and they said, okay, that's insensitive, and she had to leave NBC. It's not about hypocrisy. It's not about these. It's deliberately setting up a system of guidelines and rules that will not be applied equally. Justin Trudeau, I think that's a step further. I think this is a step further than using a black emoji.
All right, be right back.
How the hell did he get reelected?
He just promised a bunch of free weed.
Yeah.
It always works.
Yep, every time.
All right. So let's move on now. We're talking about, as we talk about biological differences. And this is the thing. You don't want to be colorblind and you don't want to be color obsessed, right? We acknowledge that people are different. This is people bond. And you ever watch Don Rickles? People bond over busting balls. People bond over joking about our differences. That's okay. No one's colorblind. I get that. But you shouldn't define someone's character by it. These should be simple rules. These shouldn't be difficult to navigate. It's, oh, that guy's black. Do we have a banter? Do we have a back and forth? Great. Hey, I don't hate you and you don't hate me, just like I don't hate my white buddy who I make fun of. Yeah, okay, there you go. Now, if someone says, hold on a second, I think that Hitler was right, you will pause. I think we might have an issue.
You won't with Kanye. Well, actually, no, he's still on Jump Street.
No, he likes Jews again because he saw War Dogs.
Yeah.
I hated the Jews, then I liked them, then I hate them, now I like them again. Huh?
No, I just think he wants his contracts back.
I literally, when I read that headline, I was like, oh, he had a conversation with Jonah Hill. Fantastic. I had no idea that it was the movie before we did this.
Jonah Hill, by the way, he looked better fat. Do you notice? Here's something else, too, really quickly, before we move on to NPR. Okay, you guys started in bodybuilding and fitness, and this is important for women out there, because I had a woman complain recently. I get these messages, that people send me, and occasionally one will make its way through, saying, you don't know what it's like, the unrealistic body standard for women. You can be fat and be successful in the United States. Mentioned like Chris Farley. Yeah. Mentioned like John Belushi, Jonah Hill, and okay. You think these people weren't on the cover of Playgirl? They weren't sex symbols. You're making the point for us. Fat guys have to be talented. Fat women can be Lizzo or Tess Holliday. You have to offer nothing other than your fatness and demand that we claim you're beautiful. There's a huge difference there. And this is just something that we kind of go along with. Oh, fat male body image. Oh, fat female body image. No. Do you also notice this in Hollywood? All the fat guys now are slimming down, and the non-fat women are getting fatter, like Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, right? All these people, they're all losing weight. for health purposes,
Yeah.
but then Adele gets crap for losing weight for health purposes because most women are ballooning up like they're a Chinese spy operation.
I can't stop eating. It's a vicious cycle.
So, speaking of men and women, now let's go to sports. And this is important, by the way. I think there is no more important issue of our lifetime than the idea that there is no such thing as men and women, that gender doesn't exist. Why? Because mom and dads matter, because husbands and wives matter, and being able to raise your children as you see fit, which now, of course, would be considered a hate group, a traditional nuclear Christian American family, I think is, for me, that's the most, it's more important than taxes. And by the way, I also don't like paying taxes. So, this ties into that NPR.
But you pay all of them.
Yes, I do.
And,
I overpay.
more.
The government owes me 6 figures right now.
They do.
They owe me. It's been a year and a half.
I thought it was 7, actually.
It was 1 year.
Oh.
It was 1 year. Yeah, you know, when you pay
That's how
business
scared you are.
taxes, right, quarterly, we always overpay a little bit just to be safe, you know, because they're probably
Got
going
you,
to
you're conservative.
Yeah, exactly. And then they never give it back to us, the refund. Like, we owe it. That's an IOU, sir. That's as good as
You're going to want to hang on to that.
Hold on to that. So NPR, National Public Radio, just so you know. Last week, the World Athletics Council, they announced that there was going to be a ban on transgender. When I say that, I mean men competing in women's sports at elite sporting events.
The Council has agreed to exclude male to female transgender athletes who have been through male puberty from female world ranking competitions.
Morning, wifey.
March the 31st this year. However, in order to do further research into our transgender eligibility guidelines, we will be establishing a working group whose remit will be to consult specifically with transgender athletes to seek views on competing in athletics, to review and maybe commission
Monday.
currently limited research,
Busy as fuck.
and to put
Yeah,
forward
Chadward, we got a Martino Jackson at the Arrowhead Imaging Lab. They pulled the first one out there.
Having to give that statement with a straight face. Like, we will see.
I'm just going to do the drive probably because I got so much shit to do at the office already. Plus, Matt's got me working on something. I'm going to be going out to,
Yeah, great Chrysler Reddit.
good to see you too, Midwest. I'm going to be going out to Maple Heights Friday. To housing, so East Cleveland.
How many women are transitioning into men and like whooping men's ass?
357.
Maybe in wrestling, because they have some ex-submissions. Mother's milk. That actually happened one time. I watched a female. Anyway. So this guy, Sebastian Coe, we must continue to take the view that we must maintain fairness for female athletes about all considerations. All right, so NPR was particularly mad about this. And this is what they claimed. And this is, I want to get into a logical fallacy here. And by the way, all the references are available at loudwithcutter.com. Just so you know, we've done many segments on this, but we focused before on sort of like the biological realities, like the hormone differential, right, that you would see between the two. Things like bone mineral density, things like muscle mass, wingspan, grip strength, all of that. So we're not going to get into that today because that wouldn't refute what NPR, National Public Radio, funded by your tax dollars, propaganda network, and by the way is going under, what they tried to claim. And this is very important because I want you to comment below as I do to see if you see the slight of the hand here before we go. They cited a lack of research to prove that males have an advantage. This is Juliana Kim writing for NPR, who I'm sure is a blast at parties. At the center of the issue is whether transgender women athletes have a physical advantage over other female competitors, even after lowering their testosterone levels. But there is limited scientific research involving transgender athletes. Logical fallacy alert! Okay, this is something they do, right? This is something that sometimes people refer to as the reverse nirvana, which is, well, hold on a second. It hasn't happened yet. Men dominating women's sports, every time they enter, they do significantly better. So there isn't enough proof that it would be catastrophic. So let's just try it. Let's do it. That would be like me saying, well, it hasn't, you know, we haven't seen an increase in gun crime or accidents yet by shipping a firearm to every man, woman, and child, regardless of their age in this country. So let's try it. Let's see what happens if we FedEx everybody a Walther. We don't have any results yet because common sense, right at that point, you have to make an inference. Hold on, if someone has no experience with a gun, someone has send it, especially UPS because it'll show broken today. So we've done, again, plenty of segments, you know, the advantage, muscle mass, bone density, wingspan, go and check the references. Yeah. But what's happening here is, and I don't know if you guys wanted to kind of put the, I think I wrote something on that, but look, this is what happens. Is what they're trying to say is we don't have studies, right? We don't have a meta-analysis, right, on this right now, that there's an advantage of men and women's sports. Well, that's true, because typically speaking, you don't tend to gather a ton of scientific data or conduct research on something that is obvious, universally, unilaterally agreed upon. For example, we don't have any scientific studies that I know, or certainly not a lot, that leaving an oven on with the door open, for example, would be more likely to cause injury to a child than closing it and locking it. Because no one actually has a problem with that, right? No one would try and rebut it. It's what we used to refer to as common sense. Now, another example, this is true, by the way, they're saying we don't have specific case studies in a control group of men competing with women that we've conducted where over the course of years. No, that's true. But we can look at all of the other issues that we discussed, bone density, muscle mass, right, lung capacity, all of this. We can look at those numbers, compare them to women, and say, okay, hold on a second. Right now, we have to make an inference. Just like when I look at a glowing hot stove, I look at it, I go, oh, it's glowing red. I'm making an inference that it's very likely hot. And no one would assume that that is an illogical or an incorrect inference.
It's science.
You need to verify it afterwards, but here's the beauty of it. We have all the biological data that we need, and now we also have sort of a meta-analysis and some case studies. So let's go to, we'll go in descending order, number 3. Okay. So this is, I don't know if you've been to this website. It's Boys versus Women. I hadn't seen this until recently.
And it's like that on purpose. It's not men versus women.
Right. It's boys versus women. So again, we got a lot of these other data. Today we're just going to focus on actual results in competition.
Yeah.
So they compared
Morning, Brandon.
the 2016 high school boys, the New Balance outdoor meet. This is from a meet specifically, to the 2016 women's Olympic times. Again, this is scientific, right? So you can look at the times, exactly, and say, okay, how do they order? Not a single female Olympian would have made the final in the 100 meter, the 200 meter, the 400 meter, the 800 meter, the 400 meter hurdle, the 4x400 relay. Not one female Olympian versus high school boys.
And we're not even saying that they wouldn't have won. They wouldn't have made the final.
They wouldn't have placed.
Nine people make the final. I think I have off by 100 plus minus 1. 9 people wouldn't have been the top 9.
Or as NPR says, non-sufficient scientific data. So, and again, head on over to Rumble because there's a lot here. I don't know as we hit the YouTube dump button, as we talk about the gender bending,
it's going to be
1 month to free month club, lightwithcarter.com/month club. Hit like, comment, all that stuff so we can keep this momentum going because people do need to see this. Now let's go to swimming. I know what you're thinking. Well, if they did horrible in track and field swimming, obviously, women would do better. I don't know why. Fatter, more buoyancy. In swimming, comparing the Speedo Junior Men's Championship to the 2016 Women's Olympics. No female Olympian would have made the final in the 50-meter freestyle, the 200-meter freestyle, 100-meter backstroke, the 200-meter backstroke, the 100-meter breaststroke. And talk about that for irony. You wouldn't make the breaststroke? It's your event. The 200-meter butterfly, the 4x100-meter freestyle relay, the 4x200-meter freestyle relay. Of 48 possible medals, female Olympians would win only 1, and it would have been a crappy bronze.
Women suck. And competing against men,
Competing against men. But here's the thing. We've stripped women of what it is that they have that is incredible, that men can't. For example, not only birthing children, because now we have to say birthing people.
Well, that's true.
So we've given them the opportunity to compete against men in sports where they get smoked, and then we say, by the way, the stuff, the kind of trump cards that you had, like, a womb, we're going to give that to them too. Why? For women's rights, I guess.
I love this because it's like, we're going to do some in-depth research here to get to the very bottom of this situation. And a Google search, I think, will do.
And this is why I also want people to say, just sit down and talk and do no, I believe in preparation. I'm almost paranoid about preparation. How great would it have been if there was some kind of a live debate and the NPR person says, let me read the quote again. The quote was...
Some leggings? Oh, that's awesome.
Involving elite transgender athletes. And somebody just raised their hand and said, yeah.
No encoder. Good to see you,
I
Bob.
understand, but I would refute that. But I disabuse you of that notion. NPR, bitch. And how do you disabuse me? Or going like parliamentary?
Yeah, it has to be, yes.
Well, I present to you, not a single female Olympian versus high school boys would have made the final in... Wait, hold on. Let me take this down, all right? Do you have your paper and pen handy? Yes, 100 meter, okay? 200 200 meter, okay? 400 meter, okay? 800 meter, okay? 400 meter hurdle, okay? 4x400 relay, okay? And it's even worse for swimming. How much data do you need? I disapprove, you dumb NPR.
It seems like those are all of the fast rights.
But you can't do it. Yes, well, wait, which races did you... Oh, hold on a second. Let me shoulder this for the... Gravity is the soul of it. All of them!
Oh, yeah, I'm sub to him.
Oh, well, I believe I noted what was a trend.
Definitely not a delete laws fake transparency app. This is a real transparency app.
Yes, because the numbers are absolutely...
That was number 3.
I know, they're absolutely insane. Almost as insane as, Kanye's advisor. What? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. What? Why is he even here? I didn't say anything about... Oh, come on. Don't say package.
We don't travel in packs.
Although I certainly don't see you in schools. Here's another case study. Women's soccer.
Oh, boy.
Which is even more concrete because I assume that all the men involved are gay. So, 2017, the U.S. The U.S. women's soccer team
Nice.
That's
5-2.
what I wanted to know.
Keep up the good work, bro.
First, I thought that was that submarine.
Do you know what that means? Under. The U is for
Myself
under.
and that's what I was thinking. Oh, that's fucking
I thought it was 15, so they couldn't. Some of them were 14-year-olds.
I don't think it allows 15. It might be 15, but I think it's mostly under is what that means. I mean, in fact, but either way, 15, 14.
Well, I know what you're saying. People say, "Well, you're saying is that you can match up any teams, right?" Well, the same female team that lost to under 15, they went on to win the World Cup in 2019, and bitch about how they're not paid as much as the men. It's like, hold on. To the FC Dallas under 15 boys team. How much are they?
By the way,
Who did you lose to?
listen, soccer in the United States is not nearly what it is around the rest of the world. They would have been like the under 10-year-olds in Brazil and Spain and Italy and England. Like, it's
Yep.
incredible that they
Just
lost.
keep them as no gun zones and there'll never be shootings there. That's all you gotta do. Just expand the gun-free zones.
Two is like you're running up the score.
Gun-free zones means no shootings. I don't understand how this is happening.
According to check seat from Oregon, via Walmart, 371 Bar Avenue. The vehicle has a child on
Limited
it. It is
scientific.
running to the sale. The child may be
Limited scientific.
371 Bar Avenue. Check the truck on that.
It's
And it came across like that journey expired plate down on a fight at Toros. But it gets parked in for 5.
Swimming. So keep in mind, though, this is still slightly better than the Australian women's team did in 2016.
The Australian women's national team, who were ranked number 5 in the world at the time, lost 7-0 to 2 15-year-old boys.
It happens everywhere. It's a
Morning, dirty dog.
It's a pandemic.
Yeah, sure.
How can you possibly make the argument? It's unbelievable. These are the best people in the world. And by the way, that was the same women's team that was fighting for equal pay with the men's team. Listen, tell you what.
That is true, No Name.
That's very cool.
Some sex
That's what they're-
lawsuit. How about that?
No, they should pay off the sandwich.
Visual soda 312 Charlie.
On the table. Pay sandwiches the size.
312 Charlie.
Hit the like button on YouTube and smash the rumble. Hey, look, it's smash the rumble button if you're watching on Rumble. Head on over to Rumble. We're going to have another full
235 for special.
hour show. Fun Club is free all month. Nothing happens if you don't join Fun Club. There's no sponsors for the first week. This week.
Could you get a hold of ODOT and have them come out
So
to
here, let's go to the number
vehicle
one
leaking
place.
transmission fluid across the
Well,
roadway?
that's soccer. Well, that's
Okay, we
swimming. Well, those aren't famous athletes. I want to take the best of the best of the best. I want to take the people who eat things.
And our location is going to be I-280 South
So Venus and Serena
at
Williams.
7.4 between your left lane.
It's okay. They just look at
This German Karsten Brock, which sounds like a female name. It's not. Karsten Brock defeated Venus, and Serena Williams beat them back to back. Beat Serena 6-1, beat Venus 6-2. At the time, Karsten was introducing, well, the best man's going to beat the best woman. He was ranked 203rd.
By the way, it's not good.
No. And he gave himself a handicap of only using one serve. And he was drunk. and he lit a cigarette at the change of side.
Now, I know that sounds odd, but he does play most of his matches drunk, and smoking really helps him recharge.
Right,
So-
yes. It's like, was it drunk? Boxing the gym.
Yeah.
He was, okay, to be fair, he was drinking beers and smoking cigars on the golf course. He was like, oh, sorry, I forgot I have to go beat 2 bitches. That'd
be nice.
I can't believe they agreed to do that.
Well,
Do I need to head over to Tollgate, or would you like to have this laid out?
You notice it's not usually like
We're gonna do a
female
callback
athletes,
and
it's
let her
usually
know.
like right, but that's why it's not like
Okay.
female athletes. Because Serena addressed this, by the way, she acknowledged it, and I say this because this is, can you think of any more, you know, any, I mean,
235,
like a woman,
226.
come on,
Yep.
Serena, like, they've got, I mean, the point is,
Got all kinds of games.
got all kinds.
Yeah, everybody should have one.
Serena did address it and said basically, of course, the best female athlete arguably of all time.
Wow. Actually, it's funny because Andy Murray, he was been joking about.
Get a gun with your, if you're going to continue with them, Social Security card.
For me, tennis and men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost 2 separate sports.
Yeah.
So,
Little kids don't actually use those numbers till they're older. So you just, the parents are responsible for storing it for them. Yeah,
It's
Okay,
a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster,
296.
and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game.
She means better.
235 is ready.
She just named harder.
235.
She just named
I'll be at work.
everything that makes an athletic endeavor athletic. That they're faster, they're stronger, they have better coordination. Yeah, exactly. But they should be paid the same. Look, here's the thing. Let's remove sex from it. Let's remove gender from it, which, by the way, they're the same. I don't care what you say. Let's remove that from the equation. LeBron is paid a lot more than, I don't know anything about basketball, sometimes. Why? Because he's faster, he's stronger, he's more powerful, he scores more. So people pay the best, better than they pay the mediocre. So in men's sports, you have the best, right? They're paying the most. You have the Michael Jordan, you have the Wayne Gretzky, you have the LeBron James, right? You have the Tom Brady's, you have the Muhammad Ali, right? You have the George Foreman, you have the Mike Tysons. They're paid a lot. And then the people who aren't as good, right? So you have those male athletes, then you have the mediocre. Now, it's going to go for a while. You have the best woman. So the best female WNBA player should be paid significantly less
You two, no name.
than than John Stockton, let alone Scottie Pippen, let alone Michael Jordan, because Scottie Pippen was paid less than Michael Jordan.
Well, and this is one of the sports where people do watch women's
All right.
tennis, and so therefore they get paid a lot more than you would
Lights.
think, like proportionally,
Right.
than in other sports. But then they don't have headlines like ESPN keeps like foisting WNBA. I mean, it's like, watch this lady as she gets through and makes the layup.
But when she does it, she makes it. She goes, ah!
That's not the appealing headline.
Well, it's like, I watch UFC. It's the one where they mix them in, like UFC events, and there's some great female fighters. But they're like a handful. And they're like, and of course, we have Amanda Nunez fighting, who's been fighting for 15 years, is a 9-time world champion, 2-division world champion, who is fighting some bitch who was working at the Yankee Doodle Candle Company last week. But she's going to try her hand at it, and it's not competitive.
Right, yeah.
So it's not fun to watch. If it's competitive, right, people will watch women's sports. But generally they're not. And it's also unentertaining. They're not entertaining. Because it's
Vessel 39 dispatch.
You know who doesn't watch women's sports?
Vessel 39.
Women.
You show us how this LCJ.
You guys have been in the gym, right? I'm sure you've seen some strong women. You're surprised, oh, she's pretty strong. But when you say that, if you were to compare it to a man,
And 6 Frank, 235.
I mean, if you look at like the world.
And that's okay. That's why
That's
we
fine.
have women's sports, so that you can compete against people. That's why we separate sports by age group when you're growing up, because it's an unfair advantage if somebody is more developed and better coordinated than you because they've had more time on earth. That's why 5-year-olds don't play with 15-year-olds.
Right.
It makes perfect sense everywhere. I
That's
guess,
why
but here,
no, you're absolutely. That's why Larry Flint wasn't in the NBA All-Star game.
that's the reason.
You say he wheels in when he's 70. What? I don't want to be with Malone. gone through 3 different case studies. All references are available at inDOCtriNATION. But of course, being the scientific minds that we are here, we wanted to test our own hypothesis ourselves. So we set up the office gym now, and let's check in to see what results we get.
27, Edward. 27. 26 minus 3. 26. In service, Edward. Edward.
I don't know that we have the proper control group.
Yeah, that's the lightest way they can find it.
Sorry, Ken. Pretty sure Aetna doesn't cover that.
Yeah.
It doesn't cover sketch.
She signed a waiver.
I have a story on Rumble about healthcare in this company, which is fun. By the way, employees here get healthcare. It's a whole thing. All right. So here's the deal. Let me leave you with this. We have all of those examples, right? We have track. Okay, not even close. High school boys, right? You got swimming, not even close. You've got cycling, not even close. Then you have examples of, the best tennis players ever, not even close. Then you have soccer, it's not even close. And then you combine that with what we know about biology regarding muscle mass, regarding even protein synthesis, recovering ability, bone mineral density, lung capacity, right? All of this, size of your heart, ability to pump blood. And you make an inference and say, yeah, we probably shouldn't have men beating up women. I think that's enough scientific evidence. This is what the left does. They say, follow the science. There's science. Hold on a second. There's not enough scientific evidence to say that men are larger, stronger, faster than women. But we do. We might need to hit the YouTube button for an experimental mRNA vaccine that they knew at the time heads of pharmaceutical companies would induce myocarditis in young, healthy men. So one, we don't have enough data. The next one, put it in your body, please.
Valid point.
Yeah, we can't say that on YouTube, even though it was at the head of Moderna or Pfizer who they find out. Anyway, the Rand Paul questioned the person. And
Moderna, I believe, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I won't talk about it for too long because the dump.
I know. Well, yeah, we just want you to go on over to Rumble.
Yes, we want you to head over to Rumble. All right. And by the way, here's something else just to note while we're talking. NPR, by the way, they're about to fire a huge part of their company, 10% of the workforce, because they cited a lack of advertising. They'd be short $30 million. Keep in mind that this is an organization that is funded by taxpayers. No, not entirely, but I think 10 to 11%, which, by the way, does allow them to compete with other networks. Here's the funny thing about NPR, right? Every time I listen to NPR every morning, I listen to their news briefing. I listen to NPR, I listen to Reuters, I listen to CNN. Because I always want to listen to what the left is saying. And almost every single NPR story has to fit in the wedge in the white privilege issue, like and under this construction of the systems that be systematic racism. But here's the thing: so they're alienating and they're trying to, of course, vilify white people. Who do you think's going to be donated to NPR?
They niggas.
No, that's fine on YouTube. They're black. They can say it.
I don't think so.
Do you? Okay.
No, trust me, we're black. We can say it.
No. You know anybody your entire life who donated to NPR? It's black people.
Black people don't even donate to Black Lives Matter. It's a bunch of rich white people.
It's a bunch of. That is true.
It was a grift.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was a very, very good grift. It was a very effective grift. They got a lot of houses. All right, we're going to continue talking about this and doing, by the way, our what we're going to do our joke for people who missed it. So everything that we can't say here about vaccines, about elections, I think we might have played later on the show. The Hodge twins. You can go. What's the website where they can find you?
YouTube Conservative Twins.
YouTube Conservative Twins, and you can go support them through their merch. It's a live show Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's just tune in, then move on with your day. Right now, if you don't have to pay anything, we're going over to Rumble because I'm tired of the YouTube company. We have had to use it a lot today on YouTube. Everyone, head over to Rumble or lighthousegbetter.com/mudclub. Right now, YouTube, piss up.
We're already on Rumble, so.
for me. I'm just like, actual dump. But before we do that, we actually have some stat thing on the WNBA versus the NBA viewership numbers. I'm not sure what the comparison is, but I think it will be stark.
So it's actually just the WNBA's viewership of male versus female. 59.8% male, while 40.13% female.
They don't even watch their own. Oh, okay. So it wasn't like the total viewers. It was like who makes up the audience. I have a better job explaining that to me.
Of the 5 people watching.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, how they got the decimal point there. 5 people. So, are there any women's sports, guys, that you guys like to watch? Is there anything?
I used to like the roller derby.
That's true.
Volleyball. I love women's volleyball. Beach volleyball.
See, but I think it was the bikinis that did it, not necessarily the footballing ability.
Oh no, those girls are fast and athletic.
Oh, yeah, that's of course.
That had nothing to do with it.
I used to like, honestly, this Steven's going to think I'm even gayer now, but I'm not gay at all. The women's soccer team was, I just said that I like women's soccer. Steven came back in the room.
You actually watch women's soccer?
Yeah.
Used to.
Beach volleyball on the sand with the little bikinis on. Yeah, I do like.
Right, they're winning World Cups or they're winning.
I am a man.
Obviously, you're going to cheer for the home team.
Yeah.
Then the home team starts to betray you a little bit.
But they're kind of wet. I just watch them spike the ball.
Yeah.
Hit that ball.
I also like I'm a big fan of professional.
27.
Yes. I asked the sports, they're like, yeah, that women's football with bikinis on. They're like, I think you're missing the point.
There was women's football.
Yeah, they're playing flag football with bikinis because that's the only way guys will watch women's sports.
Wait, that's
Now, would I watch that over a hockey game or something like that? No.
So we have the viewership comparison as well. Highest viewership for WNBA is the Las Vegas Aces, 534,000.
Wait, is Aces the name of the team?
That's the team.
Oh. Wait a minute, only 534,000
NBA is
NBA?
Golden State Warriors victory game.
She works so hard all weekend. Now she got nothing to do at the office but to give me shit on my drive to work.
Look at that. Wow, look at that. The racist white guy with
Looking on the phone all weekend, working.
I'm not racist.
It's probably because you have to do all that calculating while
She's been doing nothing but sleeping, right?
You have to go through the anguish of adding 0 versus 0.
About 10 years ago, I was just like, oh, I hope we win. And I was cheering for them, and then I stopped.
Yeah.
No one wins.
No, that's true.
Absolutely no one wins if you're watching women's soccer.
I love the cycling thing, though. We didn't cover this story, but you mentioned cycling. There was a recent one where a guy won like a major cycling competition. He'd taken the sport up 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He won as a woman. So.
What was it?
You're multitasking? Good for you.
Yes. He did that just on his own time. Like when he was at the gym and like, well, yeah, but you were wearing knee wraps.
Okay.
Just hangs with friends. I work too, but yeah, I get
know
it.
what their excuse was. All right, we're going to do the joke review, but first let's take a chat or two, and then let's go to the joke. Actually, you know what? No, let's just go straight to the joke review. Okay. Do we have a stinger for this?
Yes.
Oh, really?
We don't run these things by.
That's a really short stinger.
It's like, I couldn't even get a sip on your
I'm going to act like I have pros working for me for a second. Gerald, are you going to help me? No, I mean, I didn't know what you were doing over there.
174 KG.
Someone help me! All right.
I thought you were smoldering to the camera. I don't know.
Can I see that stinger again?
Try to take a sip. Do it. No, still get there.
That's the stinger equivalent of a branded Jose Canseco bag. Tell me you didn't pay money for this. Join Mug Club is to good use. All right,
better stingers.
join. Yes, you want better singers? Join. And if you join for just the price of feeding a Hodge twin, about the price of a cup of coffee, which these black children clearly do drink. I watched those. I realized I was paying way too much for coffee. I'm not getting coffee for 97 cents. Wow. What? It's fantastic. I can't wait. I need to go get on bucks.
It's terrible coffee.
Yes. All right. That's just my care package. It's just a bunch of Maxwell House and chock full of nuts. It's like, oh no!
So smart.
Oh, I can't barter with this with Coney. He's full of chock full of nuts. He's tired of it. He wants a vacation. All right. So let's do a joke review. You guys have to. You're not doing touring right now.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I can't do it this first 5 months. There's so much to do. I really
It's
like it.
hard being on the road and doing this. It's impossible.
Well, yeah, because we have to work all day Friday. Like people think a lot of the sketches and intros just happen, so it takes a lot of time. But probably will do some stuff in the summer, you know, as we kind of slow down. Because my job right now is to be here for the folks who are adding the Mud Club.
Right.
But we're going to do a joke review where people have submitted their jokes, and you guys, since you've been on the road for a long time, and I have, let's grade them. So do we just have the joke, or do we have the setup and then the person all in one?
We have a video of the person telling a joke.
Oh, okay. Can you pause it at like the setup before the punchline?
Sure.
All right. So the first joke I just have in my notes, just so
Do you know where that is?
It says
I don't know where that
it
is.
says joke one.
We'll try.
Just so you know, it says joke one, racist.
Huh. Right.
Uh-oh.
So there's two gay guys walking down the beach, and they look down and they see something blinking in the sand, and they pick it up, and it's a vase, and they rub the sand off, and the vase explodes with enormous energy, and a genie pops out and says, "Any wish is my command, you have earned 3, anything you say will be done." Well, the first gay guy goes, "I've always wanted a house on the beach." Boom, house on the beach. And the second one goes, "We can't have a house on the beach without a jacuzzi." Boom, house on the beach with a jacuzzi.
Pause. Yep. All right. Do you think you know where the last one's going?
I have no idea.
I think this is what we call the prestige. It's a zag, where you think it's going to be a homophobic joke,
Right.
but it's a racist joke.
Because the joke is titled Racist.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of gave it away in the show map.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how it's racist, but Hodge Twins, I apologize for you being in studio. Let's see. So we have a beach, we have a jacuzzi. What does the third homo get?
Well, later that night, the two gay guys are getting it on in the jacuzzi, and all of a sudden the KKK shows up.
Oh no.
And the one says to the other, "Thank God we have one more wish." Then the other goes, "Not exactly. I may have used that last wish to wish we were hung like black men."
Here's the thing. Ouch. I heard a child in the background.
Yeah.
Daddy.
Joke, right? Shut up. Daddy's making a joke with the KKK and 2 homosexuals. That's gay. We don't want to talk about that right now. It's layers to this joke.
Are you telling the racist joke again, Dad?
Are you telling the joke about the one regarding our horrible racist history where they used to execute black men by hanging? Yes, I am. Only this time, it involves homosexuals.
Okay.
What do you give that joke out of 10?
I give it a joke of 0.
Come on, I understand. Like, here's a perfect example. That's a racist. No, the joke is that the joke itself is a joke on racism, right? It's hung like black men, KKK. The joke is that it obviously wasn't intended to be racist. And then, the genie is racist. It's a racist genie. Take it up with the genie twins.
Okay.
I give it a 5.
Well, yeah, it's mildly amusing, but yeah.
Yeah, that's an okay joke. Also,
I mean, it's offensive to Asians too, because obviously
yeah, well, they
they
did.
wanted the grande.
Yeah, and no one showed up.
Or
Except the bitch on the little shiny. I want girl with emerald eye.
the genie's like, no.
It's always funny though too. Like you can't find enough like Chinese actors who actually do decent Chinese accents. Like either you get one who can't act because they're from China,
Right.
or you get an American trying to do a Chinese accent. In which case, it's Did you see a picture of a little China?
No.
Oh really? You didn't? Oh yeah. We should watch it. Let's go to joke number 2.
It's got to get better, right?
Yeah, please tell me. The next one is a joke from I.
251.
Let's
Take the spoilers out of it.
Listen, this tool making is supposed to be over here.
Yeah, you guys sent me a setup because all I have is a joke here. It's going to ruin the punchline. All right, joke number 2. It involves the Secretary of Transportation.
I really appreciate you guys. One
Hold on a
thing
second.
though,
Pause. Is that? Did he turn his basement into a rave?
He's playing Strange Animal intro in the background, wearing a shirt.
It's like and he has multiple screens. It's like a Buffalo Wild Wings. It's a rave. And he has the She has the ceilings that you have at like high school, where you fold the pencils up and down. Either way, there's some bodies down there, I guarantee you. All right, let's play it.
I really appreciate you guys. One thing though, as of late, it's really grinded my gears, which is your lack of respect for the greatest transportation secretary this country's ever had. Mother of one, husband to Chasten. Every time you say that guy's name, you say it wrong. It's Pete Buttigieg.
Oh, come on.
Both his name and, quite frankly, something he probably prefers.
Oh boy! 10 on 10.
Hopefully this joke wasn't a train wreck.
It was.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you.
Well, look, because of your insult to Joe, I give it a 10 on 10, but that wasn't really a joke so much.
Yeah. Definitely homophobe.
Yes. By the way, so is everyone in Ohio who can't drink tap water because it's interrupted. Yes, they're all homos.
That was, yeah.
I give him a 3. I give him a 3. Yeah, you give him a 3. What do you? Whoa! Good for you.
These damn guns.
I don't know how many more times I'm doing this.
The quality is so far. Especially going after me.
Come on. Probably should have done a segment on that Cuban migrant who flew over here in a makeshift plane.
Yeah.
They said, cut it from the show, you guys said.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yes. All right. Here's the third joke. Let's see. Guys, just let me know which ones we really want to end on, because I'm not going to go through what there's 5. There's 5? There's 3 more. Then we'll take some jokes.
I only have
Cool, man. Keep it going.
There's 4.
Keep it going.
I only have 2 more.
All right, let's play one more.
You mean, wait a minute, there's a joke that didn't make the cut?
There was 5 in the Mountain Islands.
Yeah, who was screening for this? They said, come on, come on.
Yeah, they left to go slit their wrists.
Yeah. If I say Frank Travolina in here, I swear to God. All right, let's grab the next joke.
The next one is Brock.
This guy goes to his psychiatrist. So this guy goes to his psychiatrist and says, listen, doc, I think my wife is trying to kill him. And the psychiatrist asked the guy, I think your wife's trying to kill him. What is your proof? The guy didn't have proof, but he said, like, every time she makes dinner, I get the sense she's trying to poison me. She wants to kill me. This went back and forth. The psychiatrist did his best to convince the guy that his wife wasn't trying to kill him. So eventually, the psychiatrist said, all right, listen, I will have a talk with your wife. Come back next week, and I'll let you know for sure if I think she's trying to kill you or not. A week goes by. The guy goes back to see his doctor, and the doctor tells the guy, I had a conversation with your wife last Sunday for a whole hour. Take the poison. Take the poison.
I can't believe it. He still has to convince people he's not Jewish. That's a classic. I get that's a classic joke. I give that one an 8. Yeah,
I give him 8.
Yeah. Also, the guy's wife was a soccer player. So.
Well.
All right, let's grab the final joke, and then I guess we'll declare a winner, I guess.
I don't think we will.
It's like a women's swim meet.
Hi, final joke.
Hi, Uncle Steven. So the other day, I tell my wife I'm going to go fishing with my buddy John. She goes, oh no, I know exactly where you're going. You're going to go get drunk. And I said, no, I promise, we're just going fishing. So John comes, picks me up. We go straight to the bar. We get hammered drunk. I'm slamming the beers. I end up puking all over my shirt. I'm like, oh great, now she's going to know I've been drinking.
I know this joke.
So my buddy John says, here's $20.
It's a Bob Einstein
in my
joke,
shirt
yeah.
pocket. He said, just tell your wife I got seasick, and so I gave you $20 because I ruined your shirt. Great idea. So I walk in, I stumble in the door, hammered drunk. My wife goes, oh my God, I knew it. I knew you were going to go get drunk. And I said, no, we went fishing. She goes, oh my God, take off your shirt. So I take off my shirt. She goes, you got puke all over it. I can smell the alcohol. I said, no, John got seasick on the boat, and he puked on my shirt, so he gave me $20. She fumbles through the shirt. She goes, yeah, but there's $40 here. I said, oh yeah. He also gave me another 20 to in my pants.
That's actually one of my favorite Bob Einstein
That
jokes
was a
ever.
zag, though. I don't think that was the original.
Yeah, it is. But
Yeah,
it's always funnier when Einstein tells us, like, I know, he also shit my pants.
But he didn't say he also, did he?
No, he said he also gave me another $40.
Yeah, he just-
it could be whittled
changed
down.
it a
But
little
that's one of my favorite Bob Einstein jokes.
It is a great
ever.
joke.
And there's a great documentary. But what do you guys give that? I mean, you're hearing it for the first time from a guy in his...
I think his delivery was a little off.
Yeah. When was the last time you guys bombed, like, on stage? Has that happened anytime?
It was a little liberal shithole up in Rhode Island. That's the first year we was doing. I was making transgender jokes, and there was a big poster on the wall of transgender every Thursday night.
And it was Thursday night, guys.
It was drag queen, like a drag queen thing?
Yeah, they have it there every week at the comedy club, and it's like when we got there, the comedy club had advertised the show on Facebook to people who were not our fans.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of people who came there for faces liberal.
Oh,
yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so it was quiet.
Yes.
Just like you could hear a pin drop in that bitch. And it was the most uncomfortable shit. I looked at Kelvin about 5 minutes. I said, let's roll through these fucking books and let's get out of here.
Oh, it's the worst feeling.
Yeah. It's the worst feeling when you bomb with man, you want to go home and fucking kill yourself.
Oh, I know. I remember the first time I really, it was at an open mic night, and I used to come out, part of the joke was, and here's, sometimes the joke works if there's enough people in the audience, just because even if a small portion laugh, it creates an uncomfortable kind of wave.
Right.
And so I used to come out to DMX, N-word, bring your whole crew. And so that was part of it, where like everyone else is coming out, like, all right, we're bringing out, I don't know, we're bringing out David, I don't know, Dave Pride was a great comedian in Montreal, and then he comes out and then something, I don't know what it is, it could be like, I don't know, it could be Bon Jovi or something, and I come out and it's like, I got blood on my hands and there's no remorse, I got blood on, because I'm the corpse, I'm a nasty, and the whole joke is I go out and I'm like cut the song, but it keeps playing, I just love when it bring his whole crew, and I'm like, so I'm like, but do it. So the audience would always be, but then the thing is, it was an open mic night, there were 4 people.
Oh, 4 people in the audience?
There were 4 people.
Morning, last responder.
That's a good crowd.
And they laughed 0 at this, and 2 of them were from my high school.
Oh.
One of them was a girl who I almost dated, but she turned me down for another guy.
His guys are still a loser.
That's
Made the right call.
I was like, oh, right.
Was she in the audience with the guy?
No, she was in the audience with someone else. I believe she became a lesbian, so that also did wonders for my confidence.
Yeah. You were her last shot.
Hi, unindoctrinated. You guys, again, you're at the end of the ride.
I did a bomb one time at the comedy cell.
It's going to depend on how many people are in my office, whether or not I go live at the desk.
That was about Michelle Obama. Anyway, before I got through the bit, turns out there was like a bachelorette party with a bunch of black people.
Wait a minute, you're telling conservative jokes?
Oh, I don't care. I was like, yeah, I always have. That's the problem. Like, I used to be okay with bombing, and I had something about Michelle Obama, and this was during the beat, and she just, before I can even get, she goes, no, that's just racist. like any white people in the club are going to laugh after a black woman just.
Did you give her that look? You get scared. You give that look.
We probably will.
And then I tried to continue with it, and she went, no! Like, Michelle Obama, no!
You cannot out-scream a black
No, you
woman.
cannot. It looks like a no.
Then you see why that guy was on Seinfeld. What was that guy who was in that comedy club? And some black dude was saying something to him.
Oh, Michael Richards.
He just lost it. I ain't put up with these niggas.
Ah.
I'm a damn movie star.
Yeah. That was the first time someone got canceled, but he wasn't a comedian, right? Michael Richards. So he was just kind of on stage for the first. And you imagine you're not a stand-up comedian, right? And you're
Yeah, right.
I feel it's like a kid.
Yeah.
You just saw someone else. You have like Nick DiPaolo.
I do have to call a few people and say, where the fuck were you today? Why didn't you show up? So that ought to be halfway entertaining. It's always fun to do that while you're interviewing other people. It's like, yeah, you're replacing this motherfucker.
Honky, 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 honky. He's like, he's with his Kramer, and he's like, honky, honky. And then they turn around and like, well, I'm a honky, he's a nigger. All right, let's see where this
nigga's at. They're coming.
And then you're like, okay, maybe let's see where he goes with it. Maybe he develops. He's like, 100 years we would have had him hiding from news with a portrait up his ass.
You know what you're saying? Philadelphia. And from the moment he walked out, he was booed, and he actually made him famous for that.
Mm-hmm.
It actually propelled his career.
That actually didn't happen with me when I was at UMass.
Mm-hmm.
And it went off on, remember Trigglypuff, and they were like, keep your hate speech on this campus, keep your hate speech on this campus. And we might have a video from that.
I remember that, yeah.
It got a bunch of like 5 million plays across the platforms in like 24 hours. It was me, it was back then Milo Yiannopoulos, Christine Hoff Summers. And I remember it was my show originally. Like, hey, do you mind if we do this whole thing? And I was like, yeah, sure, that'll make it easy. I don't have to do an hour of comedy and stuff, and we'll have them. We'll do like a panel. And I think it was Christine Hoff Summers goes first. I don't remember the order.
Jesus.
But I remember someone went out before me. It may have been the MC.
Nicely spent, everybody.
Say a word, and she was like, no! No! And I go, and I remember I had like notes for a speech, and I was like, well, all right, let's do this. And I just walk out, and there was this fat, she became a meme Trigglypuff, and she was like, yeah, keep your hate speech on this. And I just walked out, and I'd never done this. And I was always a clean comedian, and I just like I didn't have enough middle fingers to give.
Yeah.
And I just went off. And that was a moment that kind of went viral, and it was sometimes it just happens, and like at that point, sometimes you just know you're not going to do comedy. You know that if the audience is not having it, you're like, this is not going to go well. So let me just kamikaze this and see what happens.
Can't feel any worse than bombing. So go.
Oh, they used to have me. That was the thing in Montreal. They'd have me MC a lot of shows. We're like going to do because for those people who don't know, like open mics and stuff, you'll have like 10 comedians. And, they would
One job to do, answer your
because
phone.
if the audience was bad,
Doesn't happen.
they'd just be like, all right, go out and do your thing, and I would just pick someone out and just go off.
Yeah.
Like if there was a heck, like that was kind of something that I liked doing. So they're like, all right,
well,
you go do this, like a suicide bomber.
probably about
go out,
1:15, 1:30, depending on if there's any people waiting.
Go up to the fat guy in the front row.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Like so much-
Peace, everybody.
see so many shows
Thanks for
where
hanging
it's
out in the drive.